Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about what therapy is versus what therapy is not. So, first things first. Therapy is not a place where you are told specific things to do. When I say this, what I mean is therapy is not a place where your therapist is going to tell you, hey, this is the exact thing that you should do for this situation, or this is not the exact thing that you should do for this situation. You should do ABC, or you should do CDE or ZFH, right? Your therapist is not going to tell you the answers to the decisions that you have to make in your life. What therapy is, it's a safe place for you to explore and to get a better understanding of who you are, what things have shaped you, and the way you think about yourself, others, and the world around you, so you feel better equipped and empowered to make your own decisions. So sometimes that looks like values exploration, figuring out and getting down to the bottom of what's most important for you in life, and using those values so that way you can feel empowered to know more about yourself, to make that decision that you feel is best for you. And this is why therapists do not tell you specifically what to do with every decision in your life, right? Because the idea is for you to feel empowered and for you to have increased self-awareness, so that way you feel in control, and you feel like you have that agency to make those decisions in your life. Also, too, the reason why therapists do not tell you what to do is because at the end of the day, it is your life. So it's nothing minimum about the decisions that you have to make, because you are actually the one that has to carry out that decision and make it, and deal with the consequences, or the feedback, or the next thing that comes after that decision. So the therapist is there not to tell you what to do, but to deepen your understanding about yourself, so that you're making decisions from the healed you, so that you're making decisions from a place of clarity of, I know and I have a better sense of who I am, so I feel more confident. I trust myself a little bit more to make this decision. Okay? Okay. All right. So, second thing, what therapy is versus what therapy is not. Therapy is not a quick fix, okay? And I know you may have heard this multiple times, and let me explain it a little bit more, because sometimes when we hear things, we're like, oh, but I need a quick fix. All right. So, what I mean by that is that sometimes the concerns that we have, that we bring into therapy, are so, excuse me, complex, that they're going to take more than 1, 2, 3 sessions to kind of explore and to uncover, right? Sometimes it just takes, it's a journey, like it's a process. So sometimes it takes time to build that rapport, right? To build that therapeutic alliance between you and your therapist. Sometimes that takes time. And then, secondly, it just takes time too, because it's not just a logical, like it's not like you go into the therapy room and you're like, this is what happened, and this is what happened, this is what happened, this is what happened. There are emotions involved in this process, right? There are emotions, and you may have emotional reactions and responses to telling certain chapters of your life to your therapist, and even that part of things may take time. So it's not like a quick fix, because we're dealing with logic, we're dealing with emotions, we're dealing with complex concerns, we're dealing with you building a relationship with your therapist building a relationship with you all getting comfortable with each other. There's so many dynamics that are happening within the therapeutic space. So it may take some time. And another thing, another point to make about this is, the idea is um quick fixes, like when we think about quick fixes, they usually are not sustainable. And usually when we're talking about a quick fix, sometimes people don't know the ins and outs and the consequences of a quick fix, right? So what I mean by that is, say for example, you have a concern and you're like, just give me coping skills, just give me quick fixes to deal with these concerns. That's just putting a band-aid over um a a, a hole in your boat, right? It's not gonna sustain it. It may help you feel a little better in the temporary, but the purpose of therapy is for you to be a more whole person at the end of the experience. So we're not looking just to put band-aids over things. We're looking to actually feel and fulfill and to explore and to figure out what would be those sustainable things that you have to implement. What are some things that we need to correct, some messages or some programming or belief systems that you've had for a long time that don't want to leave. Sometimes when we try to change thinking, we're so used to thinking a certain way that when someone challenges our way of thinking, we're like, hold on, no, we don't want that. It takes time for those old beliefs to kind of um leave the room, or per se, or for those to change, for transformation to happen. Okay, so therapy is a space where the process is patience, like the game is patience. And you hear all the time like growth is not linear. So it's not going to be this straight line of progress. Sometimes it's like up and down and all around. So therapy is not a quick fix, but therapy is a place where patience is invited and the process is welcome. So, last but not least, therapy is not a place where you have to mask, right? Okay, so let me unpack this. Let me unpack this. All right, so therapy is not a place where you have to pretend to be a certain person or a way or a certain way. Oftentimes throughout life, we put on our mask. Like, so when we go to work, we have a one face on. We get off work, we have another face on. When we're with friends, we have one face on. When we're with certain other friends, we have another face on. When we're, we kind of adjust to different environments within our lives. And sometimes we adjust to what we think is going to be the most acceptable parts of ourselves when we're within those spaces. So when you think about therapy, one reason that is scary is because you really don't know how to present there. Like, you don't know what is acceptable there. So sometimes clients will come in and they will study and learn the therapist to see what the therapist approves of versus what the therapist doesn't approve of. And they try to figure out, how do I need to operate in this space to stay emotionally safe. So therapy is not a space where you have to figure out, how do I need to be? How do I need to be? How do I need to act? Therapy is a space where you can come in and be your authentic self. Now, that doesn't mean that you won't feel like that it will take time to get to know and to be comfortable around your therapist. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that if your brain is trying to figure out who to be in a therapist room, just be yourself. If you feel constantly judged or constantly put down or belittled by your therapist, it may not be a good fit. That therapist may not be a good fit for you, right? Because you're supposed to bring the good, the bad, the ugly, the scary into the therapy room, and not feel judged for it. Because how will things ever get addressed if we're not even looking at the real concern? How will we know if progress has been made if we're not even paying attention to the what's actually the issue, or we're just dealing with hypothetical situation because it's not yours, because you're not being authentic in that space. So therapy is not a space where you have to come in and feel like you have a role to play. Therapy is a space where you can come in and be authentic. And if you feel like that authentic part of yourself is being judged or criticized, then maybe that therapy space is not the space for you. Okay. Or that therapist is not a good fit for your needs. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for listening. I will see y'all next time. Bye.